IFC is development institution with focus to the investments in the private sector of developing countries. And that's why, from very beginning, when we started our food safety advisory work, we tried to look in the food safety as a tool to help our clients to improve their business. And we started to think how we can prove business case for food safety also from very beginning. And in 2015, I believe, we first time decided to make research on return on investment in food safety. And in that time, we recognized that there is a big gap in terms of data availability for this topic, yeah, to confirm this idea, to confirm this hypothesis. However, we recognized immediately that there is a clear connection between food safety and many benefits which private sector companies could get if they implement food safety management system. And first of all, it's a cost reduction, it's a sales increase, and it's a risk reduction. So, almost 10 years after that, this year, we decided to repeat this research and again look in the return on investments in food safety area and try to get new data on the business case for food safety. And what we saw there, we recognized what the situation is more or less the same. There is still data, there is still lack of the data, yeah. However, we also see what situation is changing and changing dramatically in terms of globalization and complication of food supply chains. And now food safety incident in the one part of the world, in one country, could affect reputation and brand reputation and product safety over the world. And also we see what the consumers' demand is growing in terms of having safe food, in terms of having quality food, organic food, and so on. Also having the different requirements and standards in place. Also, we see increased demand from regulatory bodies and from the market, from retailers. Everything put pressure to the food manufacturers. In the same time, as I said, it's a pretty much, and also as Jackie confirmed before, it's pretty much big gap in terms of having the tool for quality management in the companies to prove what food companies need to invest in the food safety. And just to say on this slide, you can see some numbers about the different food safety incidents happened last decade, and you can see what some of them are pretty much impressive, yeah. So, as I said, it shows us what food safety is becoming more and more critical and complex than ever. However, traditionally food safety management system investments are undervalued and considered as a necessity, but not something which could help to improve business. In the same time, food safety management system benefits are real, and they could, however, they could help companies to improve risk management, to improve a business. However, sometimes, very often, it's very difficult to express it in financial terms, to convert it into some numbers. And as also we discussed, that would be good to have some additional tool which could help food safety leaders to prove what investments in food safety could help them to improve also business. When we are talking about the return on investment, we need to understand what are our costs and what are our benefits. When we are talking about the costs of a food safety management system, we can divide these costs in three parts, like in this case, for example, like a planning cost, implementation cost, and management cost, yeah? And all these things are covering everything starting from the staff training, upgrading of the food processing facilities, development of documentation, up to the certification. However, besides costs, we also need to think about the benefits. And we also can divide benefits into certain groups. For example, here we divide it in the 3 groups again. It's operational gains, market gains, and the risk reduction. And when we're talking about the operational gains, it's food loss and waste reduction, which seems to be a very important topic because we have already heard several questions about it. Yeah, it's another cost reduction. It's improved efficiency and so on, improved staff loyalty and so on. When we talk about the market gains, that's first of all sales increase due to the access to the new markets. That could be export markets, that could be internal markets. And both of these categories, operational gains and market gains, they could be in principle quantified and estimated by companies in the money value. However, the third category, risk reduction, this category is more difficult from this point of view. And very often companies could not estimate estimate these benefits, risk reduction benefits in money value. And traditional, as I said also before, traditionally food safety management system cost could be viewed as not as a tool to improve business, but as a sunk cost. And in the same time, cost could be seen as a barrier and not as an investment in the improvement of a business. And that benefits, especially if we talk about the risk reduction benefits, they could be long-term, sometimes not very visible, and they are preventive. They prevent some things which should not happen. Yeah, and there is a question how to assess again in the money value with benefit. And that's why with traditional approach for estimation of the return of investment, they do not take into account this additional value. We tried to look in this from a bit different point of view and also to include the risk reduction in our estimation of the return on investments. And here you can see, the traditional approach and that approach which we propose. So in traditional approach, we have like operational gains plus market gains minus food safety management system cost divided by food safety management system cost. The formula we propose here, more or less the same. However, in addition, we propose to include also risk reduction value in this formula. And the question how to do it. Yeah, because there is no one way, there is no standardized approach to estimate this risk reduction. We propose approach when it could be based on the risk assessment framework, which normally companies that implemented food safety management system, they have. For example, like HACCP or FMEA or some other. So based on that, we propose 3 elements which companies need to estimate or assess. And that includes probability of food safety incident. And again, that could be done in the different ways, but one of which we propose, or which we used here, we use data from the US FDA database on the food product recalls, and using that data, we estimated the average probability for food incident in US for company, it's 0.3%. The second component of that approach is estimate monetary value of potential incidents. Again, and we propose here to use the open source data which we have, and we found different information and estimation of the cost of food safety incidents from the 23 million to the up almost 15 billions. So that's a range. That's pretty much big one, but I think that could be we could make it we could improve accuracy here if we follow the approach for a certain company product, considering certain company product, country, size of a business, and so on. And the third element of this approach, it's a so-called risk reduction factor due to implementation of food safety management system in the company. And we estimate this factor from the 10 to 50%. Again, that's a question for discussion, but that's what we propose and what we applied here. And using these three components, following pretty much simple math, you can calculate avoided loss. So here you can see two examples. One example, it's one of them more conservative, another less conservative. So if we follow like a more conservative example, we can use like lower end cost of incident for 23 millions and probability 0.3 multiplied also by the cost risk reduction factor, and in result we will get $62,000 of annual cost avoidance. And for high-end estimation, this is going to be 22 millions. So again, that's pretty much big range, but again, I believe this range could be we can make it shorter when we adjust this approach for certain companies considering certain projects. So with not like a final ready-to-use tool, but that's a starting point for discussion, and we are happy to discuss it with you also, to hear your opinions about it, to hear how we can improve it, and again, to develop a tool which will help us better estimate food safety benefits and help business to get better data to prove a business case for food safety. Yeah, we are looking for collaboration with everybody. Thank you very much.